Well, Richard, great to catch up with you. The weather seems to be settling down, thankfully, at last, after such a heck of a winter. How's it at your place at the moment?
Yeah, look, it's a nice sunny day, a little bit of wind around, but yeah, plenty of drying at the moment. We're just about to get a maize into the next week, and I've just finished dehorning the last of my calves. So I'm finally starting to catch up on all those things that have been quite weather or ground condition dependent, which is awesome.
Well, we know that farmers are extremely busy. You've got calving, there'll be mating, there's all sorts of things going on at the moment, and staff situation. Not easy to get one of those visas, even though more are being allowed in.
Yeah, look, it is a struggle. Theoretically, it should be getting simpler, but that's just not the case at the moment. Unfortunately, the government has a whole lot of great ideas, but doesn't think too much around the implementation of them, and often tries to put them in place without thinking too much about the infrastructure or human capability required. And that's what we're seeing at the moment. It's just it's a system that's got some promise, but Immigration New Zealand just aren't equipped to deal with what we've got coming in at the moment.
A lot of farmers saying they're at near breaking point. They've had, years of this now, a couple of years, where they've had to make do and just do the 70 or 80 hour weeks to get through. As everyone says, the seasons don't change. They just keep coming at you, don't they?
Oh, exactly. Look, I'm talking to a number of farmers at the moment that are basically, reaching breaking point or burnout, and are talking about, what their future in the industry might be, unless they actually start to get a break. And the problem is, as they go to fill out all these forms for immigration in order to get migrant workers in, if they say 40 hours instead of 41 hours or something like that, or make a small mistake, the whole thing gets thrown back at them again to start again, and so they have to begin the process again, and that's not helpful. And it's one of those things that is very easy to do when you're running very short on sleep and a little short on patience, to be fair as well, towards the end of calving.
So what the issue is, basically these people apply for a visa, and then they've got to go through the mill to actually get that a visa approved, and there's lots of toing and froing of information required. Is that part of the issue? It just takes too darn long to get through the system.
So first you've got to advertise. You do the job check essentially. So you've got to advertise a position for 2 weeks, and then after that you can apply. After you've shown that you've advertised for 2 weeks and you've had no suitable Kiwis apply, then you can go down the path of essentially trying to get a visa for a migrant. And so it's one of those things where you've got to upload job descriptions and employment agreements, but at the same time they can be 60, 70 pages long if they are good and robust enough to actually create a good employment relationship. And yet immigration's website struggles to upload that many pages. And so you've got to do it in a couple of different goes. And then sometimes they can't find all the pages and say, well, this page is missing, therefore we can't proceed. And it's a mess at the moment.
And farmer resilience is wearing thin.
Yeah, it's just another thing, really, isn't it? That farmers have to waste their time doing when they're already overworked.
Well, even today, I know the announcement came through about the hospitality industry. Obviously, we know how they've struggled over the last 2 to 3 years, and allowing more hospo industry staff, particularly chefs and the like, in. I imagine that's only going to exacerbate the problem, because, of course, they're going to have to go through the run as well, and there's going to be more applications coming through.
It'll mean far more applications, unfortunately, which will push the processing for everyone else's out. But at the same time, look, anything that gets people into the country to do the jobs that need to be done, I support. And so really good for the hospo people that what was really quite a crazy barrier to entry has been altered to make it workable for them.
Have you got any figures as to how many visas are required or are waiting to be approved?
So the figures I've got are that we are short 4,000 workers on dairy farms at this point. And there are 10,000 applications in place at the moment, and I think they're about through a third of them. So the numbers keep changing on a daily basis. So yeah, look, still a long way to go.
On other things, generally speaking, I suppose most people relieved that, like you, that the weather has sort of settled down a bit. I mean, even last week we were looking at terrible conditions, so we're only just through it. But hopefully this might be the start of a more settled period.
Here's hoping, Mike. Here's hoping. Look, speaking personally, it's just nice to be walking on top of the ground for a change. It's been a long time squelching through mud through the winter and chasing calves around in mud and that sort of thing. So it's great to have the sun on our backs, seeing the farm dry out a bit and be able to get through all those jobs that we need to get done to build up some feed for summer and for winter.
Presumably the cows like it as well, a bit of the sun on their backs.
Look, anything that's good for us is good for the cows, essentially. So yes, yep, the cows haven't enjoyed the winter that much either, and so they're loving the sun on their backs. We're actually seeing a lot of cows cycling at the moment. We start AI in on Saturday, and so I'm pretty encouraged by what I'm seeing there at the moment. So everything's looking positive.